All right, welcome everybody to this fantastic show. Welcome. As always, we'll be looking at the chat at the end of the stream. Hope everybody's having a fantastic week so far. Weekend is right around the corner, so let's finish strong. All right, what do I have for you today? Episode 8 of Article Reviews. It's that time again. Let us see if this article lives up to the challenge of my stringent expectations. For whoever speaks of love had better get it right. That's why I wrote a book. That's why I made an online video course. What I call my 1-hour movie. So take advantage now while you still can. Let's go ahead and get right into it, shall we? Oh, yes, I love article reviews. So much fun. All right, let's go ahead and start with the title, shall we? Oh, yeah. Let me go ahead and just preface the whole stream with, how strong is your love for your partner? Gotta put this into context. I mean, do you seriously have what it takes to flawlessly love your partner every day beyond eternity? Beyond eternity. Every single day. Ask yourself, do you even have a partner that you're willing to love with that much strength and determination? Tell you what, if you don't feel that way, you're not in love yet. Better work on it. Or, if you're with the wrong person, better move quickly. Everlasting love is what I titled this article, even though it has a different title that we'll go over really quick. My question to you is, does a river stop flowing? Do the sun and moon stop moving? True love is all about constantly moving forward, growing stronger with each passing day. I have to emphasize that before we get started. All right. Nice infinity image here. A symbol that brings two becoming one. Two people become one. How strong is your bond? Because from there, eternity awaits, beyond life itself. If you don't believe in this, you're doomed. You'll never experience the most beautiful power, the most awesome power that life has to offer. The power of true love. No, it's not in a Disney movie. They tried to show it. True love has to be felt, not seen. Hopefully, all of you out there will one day get to experience that feeling, that joy. So without further ado, let's just jump in right into the article. The honeymoon phase is over. Now what? This is so typical. This is such an immature title. Honeymoon. You know, people think a wedding is like... a wedding is a show. And then the couple has a romantic evening, sexual experiences, aka the honeymoon. And that's it, right? From there, nothing else will be the same. Nothing could possibly match the honeymoon because it's so special. Look, I don't care where you spend your honeymoon. Your honeymoon should be every single day with your partner. I don't care where you live. Even if you live in a cardboard box. Hopefully momentarily. Your honeymoon is whatever you make of it. Life is what you make of it. Even in the movie Terminator 2, for crying out loud, there's no fate but what we make for ourselves. I do believe in destiny, but it's up to you to help destiny help you. Life has something beautiful planned for you. But if you act like a loser, you're not going to meet your destiny. And I mean, that means forever. You'll just be a meaningless, roaming zombie going nowhere. Don't do that. Listen to the signs. Be a great person, a loving person. I mean, you got to defend yourself whenever possible, but for the most part, be loving to those who deserve your love, right? Especially your partner. And if you don't have one, it's time to find one. 8 relationship experts share unspoken truths. Oh boy, we'll see how true that is. About long-term relationships. How about a lifelong relationship? I do use the term long-term and lifelong, but I prefer lifelong. It's just far more powerful, meaningful. Alright, so title aside, let's jump right into the article, because that's how we do it. A few winters ago, I was sitting next to a good friend on a tiny couch in an even tinier studio apartment, watching lovesick teens pine after each other on Netflix's holiday film Let It Snow. I should actually watch that. Sounds intriguing. When Kiernan Shipka's central will they, won't they romance was finally resolved. Sealed with the first kiss, my friend muttered under her breath, "Just wait. You'll feel trapped as hell in 5 years." Oh boy. Then why get married? I mean, it's we hear this all the time. Well, you just wait. Reality's gonna set in. Those are a bunch of losers. In failed relationships, they haven't broken up yet. That's what that is. If there's so much of a failure, they should break up. Don't be spreading failure to other people who haven't even started their quest to find true love. Don't be trying to sabotage other people's relationships that are going okay, or at least mediocre for the moment. Just because you failed with your relationship, you gotta bring other people down. That's the crabs in a bucket mentality. I've gone over it several times. Just because you're not making it to the next level doesn't mean you gotta bring everybody down with you in a pile of flames, a dumpster fire. Stay away from other people if that's what's gonna be the case. I laughed, she laughed, we both laughed. At that point, I don't know what they're laughing at. I'd been with the same person for nearly 4 years. Oh. So what, the magical 5th year is gonna, it's ridiculous. And she for 7 or 8. So we were familiar with the short-lived honeymoon period. It's not a period. It's an attitude that turns into an undying passion. Passionate love for your partner. If it only lasts for a honeymoon or 5 years, you're screwed. Excuse my French. You're doomed for being immature, weak, and ignorant to the fact that love is something you build together. It requires the effort of both partners. It's not something, time does not dictate love. I don't care if you're in a relationship for 40, 50 years, 70 years, I don't care how many years together. It's the quality of your relationship that counts, not the time. And by the way, time doesn't cure everything anyways, on another tangent. Same thing. Just because time passes doesn't mean it solves everything. It doesn't grow everything. You have to grow with the moments of time that time gives you. Have the time of your life as many times as possible. Get it? And how long-term relationships bring their own sets of challenges? Of course. Like any goal. Challenges. What did you expect? But to whine and complain about the challenges and throw in the towel, to give up, that's up to you. You can hang around with losers and follow their skepticism because they didn't make it themselves. Or you can hang around with successful people who claim to have a soulmate. Hey, you don't feel what they feel. If they say they have a soulmate, they have a soulmate. Right? Unless it's evident, painfully evident, that they're living in denial. But that's another thing. My friend and I weren't unusual to our coupledom. We're now in the midst of a madcap summer wedding season with back-to-back events cannibalizing our weekends. That's bad. Free time is gold in a relationship. Don't live like that. If it's your profession killing your weekends, if it's your kids occupying it, no, you fix it. Fix it. You give up on your partner, you give up on each other, you're doomed. Even when the kids leave the house. In the very end. When it's finally time for them to go bye-bye. Nope. You guys are doomed. You gotta maintain everything. If you choose to have kids, guess what? Now you have to be a husband or a wife, a father, a mother. You have to be everything. You can't just drop your relationship and say, oh, I sacrificed my life for my kids. Garbage. Garbage. You just missed the whole point of life. You never leave your wingman. Top Gun. Making it entertaining for you all. It echoes a Statista survey published in 2019, which found that 25% of respondents between the ages of 18 and 29 were married. 18 and 29. Okay. Well, I mean, you know, that's pretty young to decide to get married to someone 18. You gotta be very mature. I would say 30. Minimum. Marriage. But, and you know, in terms of fertility, 25. That's a good age. But you can't just go by ages. I mean, you have to go by level of maturity. Both partners. That's another topic. In long-term relationships, the work changes from how do I make a meaningful connection with this person I like to how do I maintain a meaningful connection with this person I've chosen. Of course. You know, if you choose to create a garden in your yard, what do you think you have to do? If you don't maintain that garden, it's going to die. It's each and every single day. And there's some stormy times. It's like anything else. What do you do? What did you expect? To nurture and to grow. But it takes two. Long-term relationships will change you, of course. Either for better or for worse. Well, if it's for worse, then you're failing. The both of yous. Or one of you is not loving the other enough. An imbalance, perhaps. So something sabotaging it. For worse, that's horrible. I don't preach that. Better make it for better. I'll tell you that much. A counselor and relationship coach. Oh, there we go. At Fearless Love. Love has the power to transform us. Absolutely. So hopefully we have chosen well and picked a partner who can grow with us. There you go. Growth. Their friends and family become our friends and family and vice versa. And their debts and assets will either take or give to our relationship. Okay, let's move on. And inevitably, every long-term couple will go through rough patches in the relationship. Yes, of course. It's called the synchronization process. But that's why I say the first 10 years of your relationship, like it or not, yes, you're going to have some arguments, disagreements. It's up to you, both of you, to determine how deep your love is for each other. You better start throwing petty arguments out the window over the most stupidest topics, and all that immaturity needs to go out. Because growth means maturity, mutual respect, and unlimited devotion to each other. Sexually, attentively, the whole package, from rated G to rated X. Whatever your guys' fantasies and desires are. Otherwise, the cheating will happen. A failed relationship will happen. That's why I preach perfection. It's all or nothing. Don't like it? Don't waste somebody else's life in a relationship. Because you don't have what it takes if you don't agree with this. You don't. And you can choose to live in denial all you want, but your relationship will fail if you don't agree with this. It's just a matter of time. You can only hold a broken bridge so long before you need to fix it. Maintenance. You can't ignore that. That's why unconditional love is a failure. Oh, just don't worry about maintenance. Accept me the way I am. This bridge is going to break in 20 years or 10 years. If we don't conduct regular maintenance, the conditions must apply. Fix it or lose it. Build it stronger. Reinforce that structure of the relationship. It requires everyday commitment. Like it or not. If you don't like it, please don't waste somebody else's life in a relationship. Because you will fail. And you'll fail them. You'll break each other's hearts. Yada yada. The key to making it last, remembering that no matter what, you and your partner are on the same team. Below, 8 experts share helpful expectations about long-term coupledom. What's with this word coupledom? I'm getting tired of using the word relationship, so let's just say coupledom. Nobody says coupledom. Get out of here with that. As an author myself, I find that very strange. All right, so let's go ahead and see what the first one is. Questioning your relationship is normal, they say. Okay. Psychologists estimate that the intoxicating feeling of passionate love... intoxicating. We just went over Britney Spears' song Toxic. That's interesting. The intoxicating feeling of passionate love, I was correct, lasts from about 18 months to at best 3 years. No, it needs to last forever. Sweetie, if it doesn't, then you're doomed. What are you talking about? I actually grew up with this garbage. I had to hear this garbage from my elders in my teenage years. In Spanish, they say, la llama se apaga. The flame of love eventually gets put out. I always hated to hear that. In telenovelas, soap operas, and just people in general, always speaking about, oh, well, eventually the passion dies out. You bunch of weaklings. I always thought to myself as a teenager, how weak can you be? That's what love is? They have a saying that love moves mountains. El amor mueve montañas. I'm like, well, if love is moving mountains and you guys are preaching this at the same time, what a bunch of hypocrites. What a bunch of losers, weaklings. You're saying that, oh, the passion eventually dies out. Boo-hoo, we all lose. Come with me, crabs in a basket. Not me. Speak for yourself. What a loser mentality. Look at that. At best, 3 years. That's all you got in the tank? Imagine your car saying, I'm sorry, we can't make this 4-hour trip. All I got is 1 mile in me. Hey, all cars behave... No. Not all cars behave like that. Oh, but it's a machine. It's the same attitude. It doesn't make any sense. Either you have enough in the tank or you don't. You fill it full or you're half empty or worse. I mean, there's no excuses. I even put that in my book as one of the 123 topics. No excuses. The perfection is built around no excuses. You imagine in the army if you say, no, Sergeant, I don't feel like it. I'm just going to do half the push-ups, maybe 2 push-ups. Excuse me? You better get down and do those damn push-ups. There are no other options. Oh my goodness. Let's move on, shall we? That's so weak. It's offensive. A sexologist and relationship advisor. Oh, shoot. I feel sorry for this sexologist and relationship advisor. See, not all of us are created equal. See, I'm coming in with a robust energy of perfection. No excuses. These people, these losers, unfortunately are in a position to advise others how to be losers themselves. Absolutely terrible. For the adult sex shop peaches and screams, oh, that's cute. That's actually very cute. So when that high dissipates, a high? I know love is a drug, but why should it dissipate? It's natural for some worries to creep in. Okay, well, if your sex life is not up to par, if your dedication to each other is not up to par, everybody needs a break every now and then, but a break from each other, I also put that in my book as well. Personal space. It needs to be respected. To recharge yourselves, to miss each other a little bit. Then you come running back to each other again. You know. But 2 batteries to make the machine work, right? But if you guys aren't full, guess what? The machine's not going to work. Recharge your batteries, right? Your energy levels. I could say so much about this page, just this one page. So we got to move on, though, for the sake of time. My goodness. This is horrible. And this is coming from supposed experts. Even if you're deeply in love with your partner, oh my goodness, don't start with this. It's perfectly normal, really, to occasionally question your relationship. No. How about no? If you're deeply in love, then you don't question anything. You're not deeply. This is hypocrisy. This is a huge contradiction right here. If you're deeply in love, that means you're highly satisfied with your relationship. You can't question your relationship if you're deeply in love. See, they don't even know what love is. Supposed sexologist and relationship advisor and all these psychologists. This is how detached science is from the word love itself. They have no idea what they're saying. And many people, unfortunately, have no idea either when they speak of love. Oh, love this, love that. That's weakness. That's cowardice. That's lack of strength and dedication. No passion. No heart, no spirit, no soul. That's what that mess is. This is pathetic. I'm going to try to go on. This article really is starting to rub me very bad. A dating and relationships coach. Oh my goodness, Jonathan Bennett. Weak sauce. Everyone has doubts from time to time. That's horrible. See, that's what's messed up about the world. They don't understand how love works. That's why I wrote my book and I created my online course. I do know how love works. Not just love, true love, and a soulmate's relationship. Just like a Nintendo game, a video game, or a board game, there's different levels you have to achieve. They're the building blocks till you reach the peak of the pyramid. The top. You know, the top of the mountain. You don't just climb a mountain in 2 seconds. You have to go level by level. Everybody knows this. Stairs. How do you use the stairs? You can't get to the 2nd floor if you don't climb the damn stairs. Jonathan Bennett. So how could you get to the next level and then say, oh, I'm starting to question if this is the 2nd floor? No, you're either on the 2nd floor or you're not. On the top, or you're either in the penthouse suite or you're not. You can't just be like, I think I'm in the penthouse suite, but I'm starting to question if I am. Oh my goodness. This is so pathetic. Wow, I gotta really... This is... In the whole series of article reviews, this has been the most difficult article to get through so far. I have to say, because I know there's been this is the 8th episode. This is very difficult for me to proceed. This is like so messed up. I'm trying my best to move on. The stupidity is through the roof right now. And this is coming from actual relationships coaches, dating coaches, sexologists, relationship advisors, and psychologists. Absolutely pathetic to say the least. Everyone has doubts from time to time, whether it's about the future of the relationship or if your partner truly is the one. It's not doubts. You are wondering, yes. But you shouldn't spend too much time wondering, because that's living in the future. Live in the present moment. Work on what you have, and the doubts will vanish. I promise you that. As long as the doubts aren't lingering and constant, they're normal. Yeah, you know what? They're... Normal, the word normal means pattern. The word natural means by human nature. Just because something's normal doesn't mean you have to accept it as something natural. I always approach things as natural. It's natural to love someone, so love them more if they deserve it and if you see a future in it. But there's no such thing as lingering doubt and worry. That's nonsense. Unless you're being disappointed and it's not working out. Well, there's red flags that need to be addressed. All right, so much for questioning your relationship, whether if your relationship is normal. Okay. Now the next part is you'll experience temptation. Oh boy. Another sign of weakness. This is sad. This is sad. Let's see what Bennett and all these supposed experts have to say. The credential ones. Being in a relationship doesn't prevent you from being attracted to other people. Wrong. You'll find other people around you attractive, but that's admiration. Hey, good for you. You have a sexy body, man or woman. Doesn't mean you're gay. Doesn't mean you want to get in the other person's pants and sleep with them. No, it's called admiration. You're like, hey, good for you. In this obese world that we live in, overweight world, out of shape world, a bunch of weaklings. Look, look at where it look what happens when the physical fitness diminishes, so does the mind. It becomes toxic and polluted. And then the spirit and then the soul is the last to fade away. Soulless human beings who write stupid articles like this. They could even be fit too, but it's the attitude that's polluted. The mind is polluted. With, guess what? Negativity. I preach about the horrors of negativity every single time. Every single time that I get. Let's continue with this garbage. In fact, having a crush. No. A crush. This is so immature. What are we, in middle school? While in a relationship is pretty common. No. That means you're failing. A huge red flag. Bigger than the Chinese flag. I mean, a huge red flag. If you have a crush, if you're fantasizing about another person while you're in a serious long-term relationship, garbage. You're failing. It's gonna fail. It's not normal. It's you being a weakling, a foolish weakling. You're destroying what is not even being worked on. You're too lazy to dedicate your entire life to one person. This wouldn't even be happening. You imagine a fighter, a pilot of a fighter jet getting distracted for 5 seconds while doing a really difficult maneuver. He's going to have to eject. You lose concentration for 1 or 2 seconds, you're dead. So a relationship, it's not that intense, but it's just as serious, if you know what I mean. You're going to lose concentration by focusing on others. Wow, you're so easily distracted. That means you don't know what you want. And you're wasting that. You're betraying your partner by having those thoughts and visions. I'm not talking about pornography. That's a tool. That's not betrayal. That's not cheating. That's just a tool. You shouldn't be obsessed with pornography. But other people, actual people having crushes and all this garbage, no, that is not normal. And it's such a shame that this article was written that way. Oh, it's normal if you're failing in your relationship. Everybody's failing. Jump on the bandwagon. We're going like straight for the gutters. You're welcome to come with us. Crabs in a basket. Even if you stay away from temptation. Temptation? Seriously? You're not ready for a long-term relationship if you're using these words. Crush, temptations. You're not ready. You're too immature. You're not ready. It can occasionally find you, Bennett says. Bennett needs to quit his job. Social media pretty much guarantees you're going to interact. I don't give a damn about social media. Before social media, there was clubs that still exist. There was the go-go dancers, the pole dancers. I don't care what the excuse is. Oh, I'm a man. I have needs. And then the women. Well, I'm just not being satisfied enough. All these stupid excuses. You don't know what you want in life. You're not ready. You're not mature. You're not wise. You're not intelligent. You're not committed and dedicated. Stay out of the long-term relationships. Just keep goofing around to oblivion. If you're ever ready. Oh, this is sad. This is very sad. Interact with people from your past and present. No. Let go of all the exes, the case of the ex, right? No. And if you're a male and you have female friends, or you're a female and have male friends, stop it. Stop it. You don't need those people in your life. If they're acquaintances or they play a very minimal part in your life, fine. But to give so much, potential temptation, no, 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 no. That is so backwards. Does a train go backwards? Probably to back up, but for the most part, how does a train go to its destination? It moves forward, right? It doesn't go back. And you know how many carts it has to pull? The locomotive? It's a great example. And present who might not have the best of intentions. Wow. However, being aware of the temptation allows you to keep your guard up and fight it. Fight it? You mean fight your huge level, your high level of immaturity? Are you kidding me? It's all or nothing. What do the Three Musketeers say? All for one and one for all. They don't look to the left and right and be like, hey dude, want to be a musketeer too? Because I don't know, man, I don't think I can do this. I don't think my other fellow musketeers can do it either. Hey, you want my sword? Here you go. Here's my cape too. I don't feel like it today. No, you just made a vow. You made a promise. The Musketeer Creed. And what do you say at the wedding? Right? And we're talking honeymoon here in this article. Forever and ever, till death do us part, and you're already having temptations. Are you within, 3 years at best, they said? Absolutely ridiculous. There are practical ways to combat this issue. If it's an issue, you're doomed. That's poison, says Lasson, who suggests experimenting with new couple outings, adventures, and date nights. Ultimately, it's all about effort and where that effort is being directed. Well, yeah, you don't say. What kind of effort are you speaking of? There's no effort in having quote-unquote temptations and crushes. Oh my goodness, people. Oh my goodness. We're dealing with little teenagers out of control here. Oh my goodness. Let's move on. This is so sad. I did not expect this article to be this bad. I thought this was going to be easy peasy. I was mistaken. This is the most difficult article in this whole series, I gotta say. Alright, long-term relationships can feel boring, they say. Remember, this is the experts. Feel boring. Are you kidding me? No imagination, no creativity, no dedication. If your relationship is boring, that means you're failing each other. You can have moments of rest and reflection, but boring? Another word for boring is wasting time, insignificant, unsatisfactory. You're a failure. You or your partner or both of you are a failure if you're feeling boredom. Unacceptable. 100%. If you don't have everything by having each other, you are failing your relationship. Absolutely pathetic here. The dating cycle practically begets drama and next day gossip sessions. While relationships can free you from those highs and lows, they can sometimes feel boring by comparison. Wow, man. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Yes, it is. It's important to realize that the excitement and raw passion, what kind of passion are you talking about? Of the early in love phase. Look at that. They have no shame to put in love in quotes as if they know what that word means. A phase. Love is a phase for you experts? Oh my goodness. Shame on you. Shame on all of you supposed experts. Will fade. Will fade? You know, imagine a father telling his son, you know, I love you, son, but tomorrow my love's going to start fading for you because, well, I'm getting bored of being a father and you're just too boring and you don't like doing the things that I like to do as a kid. So, you know what? I'm just going to, let our love fade a little bit. I'm going to start adopting another kid, by the way, as if he's my own son. Yeah, how about that? Or how about your pet that you throw the ball with in the backyard? Oh, I'm bored. Let me throw this ball for this stupid dog so he can play and we can play stupid catch. Talk about miserable lives. If the shoe fits. I really feel sorry for people in these categories. That's why I went over mediocrity. I go over it in my book as well. That is a relationship killer. Mediocrity does mean boredom. Let's try to move on. This is so absolutely insane, this article. How dare they put in love in quotes and say that it will fade away? What's the purpose of this article? To discourage couples? Those who truly love each other, you don't even know what that means, true love. Absolutely pathetic how you can follow up with this. However, will work to find joy and happiness, you don't know what that means either. Every day, you don't know what that means. When you achieve this, you'll know your relationship is built to last. And here you are talking about, oh, it's just perfectly normal. And now you're talking about built to last? Everlasting love? What a shame. But be careful not to rely solely, here we go, you gotta bring them back down, solely on your partner for excitement. One of the main reasons that things start to go wrong in a long-term relationship is that one or both of the partners start to expect too much from each other. No. It's not about expectation. It's if you're going to speak in terms of expectations, it's from both of you. Both of you are responsible for making the relationship, taking it to higher levels. And if you don't know how to do that, that's the problem. You know, it's like Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay, so soulmates aren't built in a day either. It's day by day. What you just said that, Mr. Expert. You just said find joy and happiness every day. When you achieve this, you'll know your relationship is built to last. But then you contradict yourself, as you did earlier in this article, by saying that one or both of the partners start to expect too much from each other. Which is it? Make up your mind, says Tatiana Diachenko. Tatiana, your head is in the sand. Another sex and relationship expert. Please, no, you are not an expert. Tatiana, I hereby strip you of your supposed expert status at Peaches and Screams. No. You might as well stay with the Screams. You're not a peach. This is no wisdom right here. This is a huge contradiction right here. They start to rely on their partner to make them happy, which puts too much stress on the relationship. No, this means that if your partner is not willing to change for the better, according to your needs and desires, your fantasies, you are screwed. The relationship will fail. If one partner is not willing to budge and the other one is not being fulfilled, what do you think is going to happen? Look, if you're going to cook pasta, you don't have the pasta, you don't have the salt, you don't have the tomato sauce. You need all the ingredients, honey, okay? You need all of them. You can't just say, well, I forgot to buy the pasta, so you know what? That's normal. People forget to buy the pasta. Wait, you forgot to buy the pasta? Now you just have tomato sauce and salt. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna use to make? There's no more pasta. There's no more recipe. You're lacking the main ingredient, buddy. Oh, but that's normal. You know what I mean? Because I don't want pressure. No one can fill that role for you. Nobody's talking about filling that role. You work together as one. It's a mutual effort. Tatiana, I feel so bad for you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is, oh my goodness, this is so bad. I'm trying so hard. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, it's okay to be vulnerable. Okay, maybe this is something we agree on. Let's find out. They got to screw something up. In the last decade, researcher and author Brené Brown has redefined vulnerability. Oh, really? Positioning it as a power and a tool for connection. But vulnerability can be scary, which is why her work feels revolutionary. Okay. Let's find out why. Because it requires sharing intimate, embarrassing, or personal stories with others. With others? No, you just share it with your partner. You don't have to share it with others. What are you talking about? According to Barbara Winter, a psychologist and sexologist, vulnerability in a relationship is a road to total acceptance. Yeah, but please elaborate. In a long-term partner, we see this separate individual, someone to whom we are not fused. Fused? Are you talking about synchronicity? What do you mean fused? who can value and love us regardless of our vulnerabilities, pains, and fears. Okay. I mean, but you guys have to discuss that with each other. What do you mean by being like, look, whenever you're ready to share things with your partner, you choose when to share those things with your partner, like painful memories, fears you may have. I mean, we went over this in my ranking episode in the ranking series, Conversations. I think it's the latest one that I did. I went over this. You know, the most important conversations to have. And fear was in that. Yeah, I mean, if you want to call it being vulnerable, I mean, it's more being sensitive, if anything. Vulnerability is perhaps a synonym, but while this may be present during the initial stages of dating, it is more developed in long-term relationships. Well, of course. That's obvious. It's okay to be vulnerable. What a waste of a... Oh my goodness, let's move on to the next one. You have to continue growing separately. Separately? That doesn't make sense. It's important for each person in a long-term relationship to have some independence from their partner. Well, I mean, no, space away from your partner here and there to take a break, sure. But independence? No, you're codependent. That's what a team is. While your partner may now be in the center of your world, why do they have to put the brackets on your? Are they being sarcastic? I don't get it, man. Their world is made of others and other pursuits. What? Their world is made of others and other pursuits. What are you saying, Winter? What are you talking about? You guys have mutual pursuits. Your dreams are my dreams. It's two becoming one. You help your partner reach their goals and they help you reach yours. What do you mean others and other pursuits? There's only one pursuit, and that's a pursuit of happiness. And it takes two to tango. Some couples have difficulty navigating this fact. What fact? Without it being considered a betrayal. Wow, I don't know what kind of drugs you're smoking, Winter, but that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And this is an expert. Dyachenko agrees. If you guys are all smoking at the same time, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Urging both people to practice self-care regularly. What are you talking about, self-care? This article is very, very... This is abstract. This is like Picasso. I don't even know where the head is with the body, the eyes. Picasso does a better job, by the way. And work on becoming the best versions of themselves that they can be. Well, that part makes sense. What? Oh my goodness. This is exhausting. This is freaking exhausting. Let me see if I can... This is the most wildest article review episodes that I've had. I never would have thought that this one was going to be the craziest one. Everything else has been like, I can handle it. This one... Okay, forgiveness is key. Oh boy. Forgiveness and the ability to let things go is crucial, says Rabbi Shlomo Zalman Bregman, a life coach. Oh, here we go. What I often see is that insults aren't forgiven and pain is held on to. Well, it depends how deep the insults are. I mean, you can't just call each other the worst names ever and repeatedly do that and expect, the relationship to survive. You're literally shooting missiles at each other, dropping bombs on each other. I mean, that's like machine guns. No, man. It depends how bad the arguments are. That's the type of stuff that leads to divorce and breakup. And so it depends on the severity is what I'm saying. And so when a fresh argument arises, that, arguments are a sign of immaturity from both partners. You guys have to synchronize together, and that requires, and that's why I said 10 years minimum, no more arguments. You guys are perfectly synchronized. Why argue? Because you guys are a perfect team. It sits upon the previous unresolved pain and hurt. No, you guys got to squash all of that and don't bring it up ever again. You learn and you move on. Unless it was abuse, straight up abuse, physical or verbal abuse. I'm talking about abuse. You know what I mean. Intentional, not accidents that can be forgiven. Not just, happenstance. Couples that stay together for the long term have the ability to fully resolve and then permanently put away a dispute. Absolutely. I like that word, permanently. His recommendation, yes, arguments will happen. Yes, they will. But they need to be fully dealt with. There you go. Now you're speaking my language and then forgotten about. Well, your mind is never going to forget. What they mean is don't bring it up again if not necessary. Because you're just going to make a bad situation worse if it gets brought up again. So that's when it becomes damaging. In the future, when it's totally unnecessary. Hey, remember the time when oh my goodness, you didn't learn to move on. And I don't care who the victim was in the argument, who was being yelled at. If you guys can't move on, you're doomed to fail. That means it was too bad of an incident that there's no way that you can live forever because of that argument or those arguments. It already destroyed the relationship and you guys are just trying to push forward when you guys can't. Then you need to end the relationship. This allows a couple to move forward daily with a fresh slate. Yes, a clean slate. Or as Lassen puts it, say goodbye to your ego. Yeah, you could call it ego, but it's more of a maturity thing, learning how to move on. You learn your lessons and you move on. Yeah, so forgiveness is one of the keys. Okay, finally we agree with something in this article. Next, sexual desire changes throughout a relationship. Well, hopefully you want more. Let's see. Sexual desire waxes and wanes throughout our lives and relationships. Well, it depends on the mood. Says Rachel Needle, a psychologist and sex therapist. Many couples struggle to keep passion alive in their relationship. That's a challenge. It's not struggling. It's because it requires effort, commitment. It's up to both of you. Typically, at the beginning of a relationship, desire and passion are quite high, and they need to maintain that high level of passion. Passion is everything. It's an attitude. If you have a negative attitude and you say, oh, it's normal for the passion to fade away, then you're going to fail. Not just fail yourself, but fail your partner and fail the relationship. And don't bother going quickly to some other, do-si-do, go get another partner. Because you're going to fail there too if you move too quickly. If you don't learn from your mistakes, you're going to fail again, the same way. It's just a matter of time. The grass will not be greener because you burnt the grass. When people get comfortable in their relationships and all of life's other factors come into play, desire sometimes fizzles off. What? No, when you're comfortable, that means that you're improving your sex life, hopefully. Because if you're not, then you're failing each other. It takes two. Like, look, when you dance with somebody to avoid stepping on each other's toes and bumping each other's knees, or worse, you have to have synchronicity. You have to move with each other. Right? So if you trust each other and you guys become expert dancers, it's the same in a relationship. You avoid all the pitfalls, all the red flags, and you strive for maturity, growth, mutual respect, and passion. Maintain the passion. It's not a flame that goes out. Passion is an attitude that you wake up with, you live during the day, and you go to sleep with passion. Passion is constant, even in your dreams. So if you don't have passion constantly each and every single day, you are a failure. So you want to be a winner? Grab a copy of my book. Go watch my movie, my video course. Or go get help somewhere else. Do something for goodness sake. Because you're going to end up being a loser who learns nothing. No wisdom, no intelligence, no passion. Pretty much a zombie with no soul. You have to work at keeping the passion alive. There you go. That's the only important part of this. That's it. I could just stop right there. All right, let's proceed, though. Let's give this article a chance. Okay. Now we're on the part it's okay to go to bed angry. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What do you mean? The old adage that couples should never go to bed angry. Well, that's a good advice because you're not going to get a good night's sleep and it's just going to make a bad situation worse. But sometimes it doesn't happen. If it's an argument during the beginning phases and you guys go to sleep angry, maybe you guys got to sleep it off. Because when this happens, they try to make amends before going to sleep and it just gets worse. And now they really can't sleep. And guess what? They're no, there's endless arguments right there. Cool off. Sometimes you got to cool off. Just mutually arrived at a standstill, a ceasefire. Okay? And say, look, we don't have enough ammunition to make it through the night. I'm not going to be arguing throughout the whole night. Let's just both get some rest. We'll talk about it in the morning. I don't care how upset you guys are. It can wait. And try your best to get some sleep. Otherwise, it's just going to get worse. This happens. And it does lead to divorces and breakups. Let it go. It's a maturity. See, relationships is all about a question of maturity and intelligence. And that key word, passionate commitment. Not all experts agree. After a long day, you're tired and extra cranky, and this is not a good combination for effective conflict management, says Samantha Burns, a relationship counselor and dating coach. Rather than rehashing the same points, that's what's going to happen. And if all has been said that needs to be said, that's all you need to know. And if you guys haven't found a resolution, sleep it off. Chances are, if you guys love each other that much, you'll wake up in the morning and run to each other's arms again. Maybe be like, oh, please. And, make-up sex is really powerful. Not to promote arguing, people, because arguing is a big no-no, okay? It can kill a relationship before it even takes off. All I'm saying is that, yes, it's true. When you guys learn how to kiss and make up, that's why the saying exists. It's not just a cliche. Kiss and make up is like the best sex ever. Because it's like you're forgiving each other through the intimacy. It's kind of beautiful. And you grow with each other, right? I mean, every garden's going to have to endure a storm every now and then, but the point is to minimize the amounts of storms because we're not a garden. But just a little bit of analogy. You tend to have a clearer mind when you wake up, and in the calm of the morning, the issue may no longer feel like a big deal. Yeah, this is like war, right? Two armies fighting each other. Hey, let's just have what do you call it, when you take a break from fighting each other? You can work through it more rationally. I mean, I'm not promoting war or anything, but okay, so it's okay to go to bed angry. I agree. Worst case scenario, you're not going to make a bad situation better. You're going to make it worse by continuing the arguments, and they can escalate. Absolutely. See, that's another part of the article I finally agree with. Thank goodness. All right, your partner's cute quirks might bug you someday. Oh my goodness. Let's see what this is about. Maybe they hog the blankets at night. Maybe they're extremely particular about an exercise regimen. Be warned, these things you might find endearing on day one could sour over time. It depends. You guys got to know each other's gustos. Be honest. What's that song? Express Yourself? I'm sure you've been told before that you can't change someone. No, that's not true. You can help them change for the better. But they have to be the ones to change. You can't force it, if that's what you mean. And you have to accept them as is. Well, be careful, because that's unconditional love. And that means a person who's not willing to grow with you. Always say no to unconditional love, because that's a lazy person right there. Oh, I don't want to have to change. I don't want to have to put extra effort into this relationship. You accept me the way I am. Otherwise, no deal. What are you talking about? I have to change in order to make this relationship work. So you should have to change too. I have needs and expectations just as much as you do. We have to accommodate each other's needs and expectations. Otherwise, we're going to be two unhappy individuals trying to make unconditional love work by well, I don't know. Imagine if you treated your car or your house that way. No, gotta just accept it the way it is. No maintenance, no cleaning, nothing. If it's dirty, it's dirty. Screw it. Unconditional. You have to accept it the way it is. A bunch of McDonald's boxes in the back seat. A bunch of spilled water or oil on the whatever it is. No, just accept. Oh, you know what? Wear dirty clothes every day because you know what? You gotta accept your. It's so stupid. People just have such lowered expectations. It's really sad. Let's continue, okay? I'm sure you've been told before that you can't change, so okay? This can be extremely challenging in a romantic relationship when aspects of someone's personality or lifestyle get under your skin. Experts agree it's okay to be annoyed from time to time. This is a lack of maturity again. You need to mature. This shouldn't bother you that much. Your partner should understand your preferences and respect those preferences. But if it's really important, then they should want to satisfy you in your needs and preferences. But it's got to be important. It can't be this cheesy stuff that they're probably going to explain now. Just try not to dwell on day-to-day irritations. There should be no irritations. That means there's no chemistry. You don't really love your partner if you're looking at them with... there was this scene from The Wedding Crashers... not The Wedding Crashers. Night at the Roxbury. When the brother was getting married to Emily. Steve. And, Steve tells his father, when, she just annoys you and all you want to do is just, when she's snoring at night, you just want to grab that little red toothbrush and ram it straight into her nostril, into her skull. See, that stuff is just, no. You're not in love. You'll never be in love if you have those types of feelings. And, of course, it's a comedy movie, so the dad said, perfectly normal. That's what this article reminds me of. Night at the Roxbury. Go ahead and watch that scene really quick, where Steve is talking to his dad about how much Emily irritates him at the dining table when they brought the family and everything. Really good scene. It's really relevant to this part right here. Irritating. Seriously? In fact, Lassen recommends choosing positivity 5 times more often than negativity. Okay, how about always? What are you talking about? While also leaving room for occasional slip-ups. Oh, what are you talking about? Slip-ups. How? This is so poorly written. A lot of this article is just very... I don't know if it was written in a haste. And these are experts we're talking about. Ad Burns, some long-term couples have an incredible ability to focus on the good. Okay, good. That's the way it's supposed to work. Yes, incredible abilities. Thank you. You can begin to do this with a daily gratitude practice in which you express appreciation for at least one thoughtful thing your partner did that day. This will slowly change your relationship dynamic because each of you will want to ensure you've done something sweet so your partner can genuinely thank you. I mean, what is this, 101? I mean, it's way more than that. I mean, no, whatever, man. Let's just move on. Arguments are normal. Yeah, because that means normal's a pattern. It's expected. Okay, let's see what they have to say here. When you're in a long-term relationship, arguing is inevitable. Yes, in the beginning. Hopefully, it'll be minimal, but it's common. It is common. It is normal. Unfortunately, because we were dumped into this chaotic life, and full maturity is not guaranteed. So you're gonna have synchronization mishaps. You guys won't be synced appropriately in the beginning. Everything needs adjustments in order to, like when you're building a watch or a clock, you need to carefully adjust every moving piece so that it's perfectly fitted. I did a video on that called The Gears of Love in the video section. Go ahead and have a glance. It doesn't matter whether it's a tiny squabble over the dishes. Oh my goodness, that's so immature. Doing the dishes should be, just put some music on. Stop whining. I mean, whatever. If you got a dishwasher, it saves water. Okay, go ahead. or a serious disagreement, how you repair the damage after a fight is actually more important than the content about which you're arguing. No, 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 no. It's all important. It all needs to be put on the table so that the argument will never happen again. You need to review that content. Otherwise, it will be brought up in the future. That's why I put conflictive arguments and beliefs in my book. There's a section in there of the 123 topics. She breaks down common habits. Okay, many couples have a dysfunctional dance in which one person pursues a conflict in hopes of a resolution. And when the other partner doesn't respond, shuts down, or ignores the issue, that's immaturity. That's not playing the game right there. That's not the game of life. The game of life, you're supposed to mature. And you're never going to, build a solid relationship like that with that poor attitude, shuts down, doesn't respond. That's a silent treatment. I did a stream on the silent treatment under the abuse series. Negative behaviors for attention. The pursuer tends to yell, cry, or engage in other negative behaviors for attention. Learning how to change this dynamic, which involves listening skills. Yeah, communication. It's cliche, but it's true. Understanding and validating your partner's emotional experiences. Yeah, mind, body, emotions. Full synchronization is a key to, other than fantasies, successful long-term relationships. Yeah, okay, fine. You said a key before. This is another key. Yes, key to is forgiveness. The key is, is validating your partner's emotional experiences and listening skills, understanding. Yes, these are all keys. But once you open the door, you have to walk in and maintain that room, right? What is that room all about? Which area of love are we talking about in this house of love? It's one thing to have the key to open the door, but now you gotta, decorate the room perhaps, or, you're responsible for the whole house. You gotta clean the whole house. You gotta maintain the whole house, feng shui, decoration, whatever, everything. It's one thing to have keys. Arguments are normal. Let's see. Let's move on to the next one. Wait. Arguments are normal. We already went over that, right? Yeah, this is the part where we were talking about. So, yeah, let's move on. Yes, you can share a bathroom and have a sex life. What? I'm reading the titles, by the way. This is the paragraph what I'm showing you on the screen. Many couples have an open door policy when it comes to bathroom etiquette. Etiquette, I like it. That's cute. And preferences, people. Preferences. We're not in some regime here. And their sex lives are thriving, Burns says. I'm not saying there's a direct correlation between chatting with your partner as they go number 2. Oh, okay. Okay. And also which direction you leave the toilet paper. Oh boy. And having toe-curling sex, but there is a level of comfort, intimacy, and acceptance that comes with sharing a bathroom. Look. Decency is either close the door, wait your turn, or have it at least halfway closed. But yeah, nobody wants to hear you using the bathroom. But, I'm not going to, stop loving my partner if I hear them using the bathroom. But I get it. Logically, you shouldn't have to, but is it something to get all riled up about? That's an individual preference. That's up to a couple to decide on their own how much it bothers each other. Just like chewing with your mouth open when you should chew with your mouth closed, right? These are really small things, and actually they have a name for it for people who get bothered by it. So this is not a big deal. However, every couple is different. There you go. To each their own. Exactly. That's how I would end that. But why would you bring it up? Okay, I get it. One can understand. Okay, so we reached the end of this article. Thank goodness. My goodness, I spent way too much time on this it doesn't matter. It's worth it. This has been the most wildest article review episode. Let's take a look at the experts. I'm not going to name them all. I'm just going to look at the titles. Counselor. I consider myself a counselor, relationship coach, sexologist, relationship advisor. Not a part-time professor, but I do love professing. Teaching. Sex and relationship expert, absolutely. Psychologist, yeah, I would gladly say. Sexologist again, life coach and author, yep, got those checked. Sex therapist, relationship counselor, and dating coach. Oh, that's nice, dating coach. So this article was written in 2017, by the way, so everybody knows. All right, let me take a look at the chat, see if there's any sign of intelligence out there. See if we have any questions, rather. Wow, unbelievable. This article really... Oh, this article. It was something else, I'll tell you. All right, welcome C4, Top Gun. You like that? Yeah, thanks for catching that. Armistice, thank you. That's probably the war battle term, armistice, to have a standoff, yeah, to ceasefire. Train Buff Boy, welcome. So C4 and Train Buff Boy, thanks for contributing to this stream for the world to see your comments. I saw this notification late and honestly thought I missed a stream, but I'm glad I didn't. Yeah, just smash that rewind button. Smash it. Just like you smash the like button, I'll go to your channel and smash the same. When I hear the word mature, the absolute last place I think of with maturity is the kids I went to school with. Maturity doesn't exist there unless it's me. Yeah, plenty of immature kids. It's never gonna change. I mean, it doesn't matter what generation we're talking about. Immaturity, even with elders, it's sad. It's multi-generational these days, now more than ever. Everybody's off the rails. I heard that the bestest, closest friends get in the most arguments. Yeah, it's they need a break from each other. They need that personal space, recharge their batteries, and because it's not. It happens, and you kind of see this in movies and TV shows, and even the Ninja Turtles. Raphael argues with Leonardo. If you guys are old school Ninja Turtle fans like I am, 1990s cartoons, but yeah, because they both want to be the leader of the pack. But, if they fail to see that both of them, and actually the Ninja Turtles movie is a perfect depiction of this leadership, because Raphael gets in a fight with Leonardo and he says, okay, you want me to leave? Then I'll leave. And Leonardo's like, good, we don't need you. And then he gets beat up. Raphael gets beat up, and then Leonardo feels so bad that the last words he told Raphael, he could actually be dead because the foot soldiers beat him up so bad, is, we don't need you. So he felt such shame, and so that's what bonded them together in the end when they finally saved Raphael from April's apartment and they got to safety. And then so Raphael recovered in the bathtub. It's a real emotional scene, and these guys were in real suits. I mean, it's such an awesome movie. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of relationships and leadership and the sexual attraction between Casey Jones and April O'Neil. It's such a brilliant movie. TMNT from 1990. The movie. I mean, it's such a perfect example of this. Like, you sense the regret. I shouldn't have said that. I feel so bad, and that's what joins you guys stronger now more than ever. So it's interesting you mentioned the bestest of friends arguing over something. I guess it's because it's an addiction to perfection, and I do preach perfection, but on a mature level. So it's kind of a power struggle is what I'm saying, and it shouldn't be there because they both need each other. That's why they're friends to begin with, and they tend to forget that. This can happen in relationships as well. So that's a great point that you brought up, Train Buff Boy. I really appreciate that because that goes perfectly with this article here. In terms of relationship issues, and the power struggle is such a big one that should have been in this article. How to deal with the power struggle. Because, you guys have been with each other so long, how could you possibly still be arguing with each other? You guys are supposed to be, over time, of so many beautiful moments, the strongest couple ever. And here you guys are having the same stupid arguments and you guys are getting worse. Like, and then people outside, they're like, hey, what happened? I thought you guys were going good. Well, we got into another argument. This is pathetic. So instead of a relationship growing, they can end up backstabbing each other all of a sudden out of nowhere. And you would guess that they're a perfect fit or even friends. Online, there's 90% of the time or worse, there's no fidelity. There's no loyalty to each other. But offline, you do mint your gems online. But offline, it's a lot more serious, obviously. But yeah, the power struggle. I actually put that in my book between an older woman, mature woman, younger man, or a mature man, younger woman. So vice versa. And it's a real interesting dynamic that needs to be understood. Under the umbrella of wisdom and intelligence. So, yeah, whether or not that's true, I'm not sure. My old friends that I had a lot of arguments with are the reason why we don't talk. Yeah, but I mean, in that case, you take a step back, and if they come back to you, then they're real friends. And especially if they apologize, then they get rid of that foolish ego and that greed, that thirst for power. Like, I'm the one in charge here. But so if they don't come back to you, then they're not your real friends. And the same thing with your family, too. It can happen with a family or your partner in a relationship. They have to come back. If they don't come back, then they're not in love with you. End of story. And the arguments are the same. If you don't kiss and make up, not with friends, obviously, but, apologize and just move on and just bring things back to the way they were. Recapture that magic that bonded you guys to begin with. Yeah, so the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie is a great movie that applies to this scenario. Where friendships and loyalty, commitment, they can break if the wrong elements are involved. That thirst for power and control. There you go. Absolutely fantastic. I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you so much, C4. Hey, what's up? I like Michelangelo because he likes pizza. Yeah, everybody loves Michelangelo because he's the party dude. Way cool, dudes. And then Raphael with his New York accent. But let's see. Sometimes you just get sick of each other and need some time away. Well, yeah, I guess you're, tired of each other is a little better put because it can be exhausting. Like, for example, going to work with the same Joe Schmoes every day, and now you get burnt out. There you go. That's the word for it. So you want to avoid burnout. And this can actually happen. Myself as a content creator, I'm doing daily shows to get all these series finished as quickly as possible. 10 episodes each. But yes, I do sometimes experience burnout, but I have to keep my cool, when I do the shows and do them appropriately, as professional as I can. Mute my own mic whenever necessary. Yeah, just keep it nice and clean and professional and say what I want to say. So that's what makes these series different than my book and my online video course movie is I speak my mind here, but in my video course movie and my book, it's strictly professional. It's strictly my philosophy on love. So yeah, it's like the professional version of me, and here it's just off the chains. Nothing holding me back. So hope you guys enjoy that to get to know me better as well. And I get to know you through your comments. So that's why I encourage comments. But a lot of people do watch on television, so I understand that too. Okay, so I only have one real friend. Yeah, in this life you can only count them on one hand. But that's all I need. Absolutely. It's just like the soulmate mentality with one partner. You shouldn't be fantasizing or having a crush on anybody else. Your partner's like 20 people in one. That's how talented they should be. And you should be 20 people in one. So that you can never get sick of each other. And you guys will respect each other's personal space. It'll come naturally. You don't have to force it or be awkward about it. I'd rather have one loyal friend than 100 friends that talk behind my back. Perfectly said. Train Buff Boy. Perfectly said. That's just like the quote that I say that I took from the movie Rambo 3. Because it's true. I'd rather have an army of 100 lions than 1,000 sheep. It's just like the Spartans, the 300 Spartans against all the Persians. Persian cowards, right? And it's just like the video game. We could talk about Ninja Turtles again. A classic beat 'em up game. There's two players just knocking out all these hundreds and hundreds of enemies and robots and everything. There's just two people. That's what your relationship should be like. That's what your friendship should be like. 100% commitment. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. It's not business. It's not interest. It's life. Just like this infinity symbol here. It's more than scratching each other's back. It's keeping the energy going. It's give and receive constantly. And that's exactly how engines function, energy functions. It's always this positive and not negative, but it's going to and coming back. Constant exchange. There you go. An exchange of energy flowing between two people that creates the bond like a rope. It has to be tied very tightly in order to be the strongest rope possible. Every thread counts. Every thread of that rope counts. You can even have metal ropes for crying out loud. So, yeah, I love the comments here. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to definitely end the stream here. It's been a wild one. This is the wildest article reviews episode I've had yet. But we still have 2 more to go. So let's see if the next ones can top this one. Because I just pick a random article and then I slice and dice it like a pizza. So hope you guys... Cowabunga. Bossa Nova. Chevy Nova. Alright guys, have fun. I'll catch you on the next stream. Thank you so much for watching and for commenting. Much love.